Modus, welcome back. Chopper Gunner, thank you for 4 months. Mad South African, 55 months and still going strong. Dude. Thank you. Polska with 2 months. ...2012 disc, 2013 Steam. Yeah, I think I started... One second, I'm going too fast. I was on... I was pre-Steam. I played it before it went onto Steam. You remember when Whiteland bought your first wheel? He did. He did indeed. I think that was 2013, Avenger. What button box is the man using? What button box is the man using? Blimey. That's very impersonal, isn't it? Could someone tell the viewer that this is the farming simulator button box? Oh yeah, it was before Yachts 1, I'm sure it was. Greenhouse hype. I didn't, gents. I said the viewer. I said nothing about agenda. You're welcome, viewer. Viewer 2648. Why is this thing flickering light underneath? What is going on? Alto. Remember the push to forward so we could get enough so you could have a sub, so a sub like day one. When was that? I think we'll jump in the fuel station here. Make sure we've got enough fuel for the journey. Baby Joey, I love The Prisoner. The original one, Patrick McGowan. It's a cracking show.
Welcome back, Metal.
Dando Metal, welcome back. Not a number, I'm a free man. I am number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6. Matt, yeah, would. It's pretty good. That's a sharp turn. Oh, Nightmare. I like that viewer as well, Nightmare. I think he's alright. That motorbike. I really wish they'd kind of add support for motorbikes in the game, because they're basically just a car, but the model that it shows you is a motorbike, but as a result it doesn't lean.
Welcome back, Metal.
They should just add motorbikes so that it actually leans them over properly. Because it just looks ridiculous. It's like a Tron bike going around the corner. Martin, 79, thank you for 27 months. Mr. Franzau, welcome back. You can't afford Twitch. You don't have to buy Twitch. Amazon did that. But don't. Mechanic, have a good night. Wonder if there's a motorbike mod out yet that you can drive yourself. I don't know of one. I know there's crazy coach drivers in this game though. Again, I think the problem with coaches in this game is they basically behave like cars, but they're the size of almost the size of a truck. But they, you know, if they go around corners, they take a corner like a car, but they're massive, so they swing out quite a bit. Oh, hello. Whoopsie! Hey. That's like the guy from Chips. Hablado Proximo. That sounds like Mexican for... Proximo sounds like approaching, like you're getting close to. Poblado is probably like town. Approaching a town? Must be Ponch. Tootsie, thanks for 25 months, good evening. Just popping in tonight, I shall watch the VOD later. Seeing that 25 months, pretty sure I hit 24 last week. PS, don't crash reading this message. Yeah, we've had a number of people, Tootsie, with the same thing. They've resubbed this week and been able to press the button last week and this week. I think it's just a one-off thing to do with this cumulative sub-update. Monkhouse has gifted a sub to L. Towerley. Welcome to the NetHouse viewer. Thank you, Bob. It's very kind, bro. Well done, Stobot. $25 miles an hour speed limit. 25? Time for a Strepsil. Another Yachts 5 idea on Twitter, ED. You should put it in Discord, mate.
Oh, yeah.
King Awesome Ball, I haven't played ATS, ETS, or anything else for 3 weeks. My graphics card has died. I'm waiting on a new one. The only game I can play without crashing is Skylines. So when I'm not on there, I'm watching your videos. Oh boy. Thyrox had a problem with his graphics card as well. He had to send it off to be replaced. He had the same thing, he couldn't play anything for a few weeks. Sunday Night Trucking is now sponsored by Strepsils. Apparently, Chris, I don't know. Why is it still 25 miles per hour down this road? That makes no sense. Maybe if you lower the graphics to Simcopter levels, Boyle. Why does he turn the graphics down on Skylines?
Oh, yeah.
Matt Snell has gifted a sub to Feel the Afterglow. Thank you very much, Matt Snell. Welcome, Feel the Afterglow, to the Nut House. Bob Monkhouse, thank you for the beer tokens. Mostly all the games you're playing run your GPU at 100%, Chris. What? What graphics card have you got? I can't deal with this 25 mile an hour. This feels like a map bug. This is insane. A 1080 and you're running at 100%, Chris? That makes no sense, bro. There's something not right though. I was playing Astroneer, was it yesterday? And I showed you my settings, my CPU and graphics, like 25%. Nah, it takes skill, Losser. Crazy merge incoming. Oh my god. Finally see me to violate the traffic laws. That's more than once tonight, you know. Cranky. You have a 10.6 and your card's at 45% ETS. That sounds more like it. Oh boy. Jeez. Put a warning sign further back. Mr. Matt Snell has gifted 5 subs. Thank you very much, Matt. 5 lucky people have just got a sub from Matt Snell. Please remember to give him a thank you. Thank you, Matt. And I think that's another sub-bomb, maybe. Mans 2034 has gifted a sub to Cranky, I think.
Welcome back, Mata.
Thank you, Mans. Welcome back, Cranky.
Welcome to the Nut House. Welcome to the Nut House.
You have any advice on flying by yourself on a commercial flight, DPH? Yeah. Take like an iPad or something and load it up with videos to watch.
Nut House.
It's just let the mods do it with trolls, man.
Welcome to
That's
the
what they do
Nut
best.
House.
I do Globetrotter, yes. Wait, we're going in here? Blimey.
Welcome to the Nut House.
Whoa, look at this place. It's like a hotel or something that's being built, but they somehow managed... Oh wait, that's off that hotel. I was going to say they managed to finish the swimming pool before they finished the hotel. Yeah, don't click on any links posted, guys. Sample Goo Goo, thank you for 37. That tree is like... Why would they leave that floating tree in the middle of a building site? Floating trees are pretty hard to cut down, you've got a point. You made it all the way down the coast though. Down to Envio Volata. Got mail, I know. I know what it is. It's just the special transport mail telling you where you can get these special transports from. But we already did one anyway. I think we've got time for one short journey. But I'm getting pretty tired though. Cash Jacob, welcome back. Sample Gugu 37. Stands for Nuevo Volata. Interesting. Oh, double tank as well, can I? I'll have to teleport for this, otherwise I'll miss it. Right, last job.
Welcome back.
It's the Nigerian prince telling you to get 1 million. My auntie recently passed away and has left me $14 million. I need somewhere to put the money. A good friend and the Pope said that you are the ideal person. If you send me your bank account details, I'll deposit the money straight away. Don't worry, you won't have to pay any tax on it. Just send me all your bank details and a copy of your passport, and I'll deal with it all, and you'll have millions in your bank. Your best friend, Harabangdegia, from Nigeria. How anybody can possibly think that that is anything but a scam? What goes through a person's mind to think that this random person from, like, even the email address is just haltatalat1234@gmail.com. You're like, come on, dude. What kind of a numpty have you got to be? Of course, the bank account gets emptied. And then they go to the bank crying then. Oh, it's taken all my money from a bank account. Really? Did you give your personal details out to anybody? No? Right, okay. You haven't shared any personal information recently about, you know... No? Right, okay. They almost do. They almost do deserve it.
Happy anniversary, Nata.
You guys must be responding to the wrong Nigerian prince. I'm waiting for my millions as we speak. Drinks are on you, Strike Eagle. Oh boy. Doc Holiday, thank you for 23 months. I have at least 2 customers a week falling for the spear phishing attacks. Jeez, man. They're gonna have to start teaching this stuff in school, aren't they? Got you playing Derail Valley. Well, as long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. .3-mile-an-hour limit. Nobody knows why. Dual carriageway road with a 25-mile-an-hour limit. Who's that from? Oh, of course, it's Rob Jensen. It's the Rob and Rob show. Thank you, Rob Jensen. How much gameplay does Derail have? It's early access, Hibs, but there's still 220 square kilometers of map to drive around. But there's only like 2 locos, a steam and a diesel, plus a special thing. Rob and Rob. Guys, if you're not following those boys, go and give them a follow. Nuts House streamers. Hey, Trucker Guy. Did I fix the speed limit issue with Pepsi Fever? What do you mean? Do I use every button on the button box? Not everyone. I use those. Don't use those. Well, don't use that, I don't think. Most of them, though. The static's been an issue this map has. It has it in certain places. There's not a lot you can do about it. Did you like the farming sim controller wheel that when you had it, Firefighter? The wheel and the pedals are plasticky. Like, you know, you're better off with like a Thrustmaster or a Logitech wheel, because the farming sim wheel and pedals is pretty basic, and it only has 2 pedals as well. This thing is just really useful. The price point they sell it at is just ridiculous for what it is, but it's just a useful thing. It's color-coded buttons and stuff. It's what you need, and it clamps onto your desk very well, and it's USB, and you can use it with any game that can recognize a game controller. But like a 100 and whatever it is, £125 or whatever it is for this thing, it's a rip-off. Feel the afterglow. Hello from the UK to Sweden. Shouldn't that be the other way around? You used to get emails saying I could get cheaper car insurance for a very specific Volkswagen Polo. And you don't even own a car. Lol. The Doc Holiday with 1,000 bits. Paul, I hope you're doing well. Cheer badge hype. Doc Holiday, bro, thank you very much. I'm full of a cold, but, you know, in good spirits. Thank you for the biddies, Doc. Cheer badge hype indeed, sir. You're off to Brussels for the first time in your life. Any advice? Don't go. I get that, Hibbs. I get the automated phone calls. They're the worst ones. Where a machine dials you up and then it pretends to be a person. Like that's the worst thing. It pretends to be a person. It'll be like, hello. And you'll say hello and it'll go, oh, hi, as if it's reacting to something you said. Yeah, I believe you've been involved in a car accident recently. Is that correct? Waits for your answer, and you go, Moonpig! And it goes, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, if you could leave some and you're like, what? It's just a stupid thing that shouldn't even be allowed. Like, because they can't be bothered to pay people to phone you up now, they just have machines do it for you. Yeah, and I've, like, my phone numbers, in the UK, I don't know about anywhere else. In the UK, you can go to a website called the Telephone Preference Service, TPS. And there's also the Mail Preference Service, MPS, and you can register your phone number and your address on these websites, right? And it's like a century-held database, and all these companies that phone you up or send you mail are supposed to check that database. And if you've opted out of receiving cold calls and spam, they're not supposed to send it by UK law. It doesn't stop them. I'm registered with all of them. It's the companies that do it don't bother to check the rules. You have that in Canada too, the National Do Not Call list. The National Do Not Call list. Well, it does what it says on the tin. Exactly, because all the ones that are going to call you are just the ones who are not going to check that database. Yeah, it's like the HTTP header do not track. But again, the only websites that check for that are the non-dodgy ones.
Oh, yeah.
Trucker Guy, thank you very much for 2,500 bits. You guys are too kind. Thank you very much, Trucker Guy. It's super kind. GG indeed. You get more spam phone calls after being on the do not call list than before. I think that's probably a coincidence. It's not like register on that is going to create more calls for you. Thanks. Help. Yeah. It does take a couple of months to become effective, though, they say. Because I think they only issue updates to the companies that use them, like, every few months. So it does take a while. It doesn't... It's not like you register with them and then it immediately has an effect. It doesn't. It does say that. I tell you what was interesting today. I don't know if you... I use Dashlane, which is like a password manager tool. And it allows you to do a dark web scan. So what you do is you give it your email address that you want to check. So it's like one of your email addresses. It then sends you an email to that address with a link to verify that it's your email address. You then click it. And it scans the dark web, and it shows you where that email address has been leaked. And on my email address, hang on. On my email address, it showed like 6 sites over the last 5 years where where a breach in the website has led to my details being leaked. And like it goes back to like 2012, 2013, and it tells you whether your username got leaked, whether your password got leaked, whether your credit card details got leaked. Like, it tells you what happened and what's on the dark web with your email address on it, which is quite interesting. Luckily, all the sites, well, not luckily, all the sites that were listed, I've already changed my details a long time ago. Because, like with Dashlane, I think it was last month, there's a website called, I think it's called something like 500px.com. It's like a website where you can buy images and things to use. And they had a security breach last month. And so immediately got an email from Dashlane saying, this website has been compromised. You need to change your you need to change your password immediately because it's been compromised. And then what it does is, because it's your password manager, it then looks at all of your passwords to make sure that none of them match that, which of course it doesn't because I use unique passwords. But if you were using a password in more than one website, and then one of those websites compromised your password, you would then have to change it in all the other sites. So they kind of actively monitor they actively monitor security breaches on the websites that you use and let you do dark web scans, which is really cool. Scary stuff. Oh, my throat is drying out. No, Dashlane's not free. It's not free. It's like an annual payment thing. I don't have a referral code. I'm literally not. I just use them fire by trial. I just use Dashlane. I don't have any affiliation with them. I just thought it was interesting that it lets you do a dark web scan. I think they have a trial if you want to use it. I mean, there's a few of these things around, a few of these password managers around. As long as you're using a password manager, and you've got a different password on every website, like you've literally, that's like half the battle right there. Because these websites do get compromised. And at least if you've got a different password on every site, your damage limitation, you've only compromised one account. They got a free plan, Wyland. I don't know, I use the business one, Wyland. Oh my god, my throat. Oh, there you go. Motley, apparently they've got a free plan. Oh, my throat. Strepsil again, yeah. What if the password manager gets hacked? Well, it doesn't get hacked, because all your details are like super encrypted and then pushed into the cloud server. Even they can't get access to your stuff. It's all mathematically encrypted. You prefer your notebook of passwords? Lol. That's as safe as it comes. Dashlane has a free plan up to 50 passwords. There you go. So you could try it out and see if you like it. I use it on my phone as well. It's on my phone in my browser. It automatically logs you into websites and stuff. But then a lot of them do that, What I like though is putting, you have like secure notes in there. So you can put like confidential information in there. Credit card details, passport details, all encrypted. You can hardly see this drop-off point. You have no sync between devices with the free plan though, bro. Ah, yeah, that's a big downside. $3 per month billed annually and free trial, not bad. Motley, just try the free version and see if you get on with it. Because each of these password managers, they all have their own ways of doing things, and not everyone, not everybody agrees with the way everybody designs a UI. Like I said, as long as you're using a password manager, the initial investment when you get a password manager, yeah, I used to use 1Password, Rob Jansen, and I moved to Dashlane. Half the battle is just when you get a password manager, taking the time, and it will take you a few hours, taking the time to go to these different websites and making sure you've got like a secure password that's different on every website. You do that, and you've just made your life a lot safer. Oh god. How much of a price do you put on security? Well, there is that. He tried LastPass and was not a fan. I didn't like LastPass either, Custard. 1Password was decent, but I found that Dashlane was for me. Yeah, they do allow you to use much longer passwords. Like, I always use a minimum 16-character password. Minimum. Some websites don't let you put in symbols as passwords. In which case, in Dashlane, when you generate a password, you can say how long you want the password to be, whether you want symbols to be in there or not. There's like different options, because some websites are a bit old and clunky at the back end. But there's literally a ton of password managers around. Anyway, Dashlane has the dark web thing, which I thought was interesting. Right, that is it for Sunday Night Trucking. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you had fun. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the fun this week. It's been a great week of streaming. I'm trying to shift this cold, and I'll be back on Thursday. So, I hope you all have a cracking week.
Happy anniversary.
That's it, man.
Game over, man.
Game over.
I hope you all have a cracking week. I'll kick off the playlist after the about 10 minutes after the stream ends. But of course, you can watch it all on SquirrelPlus. But I'll kick the playlist off anyway. Thank you for a bullseye 50 months, Curtis. Captain Flint, thank you for the $2. But yeah. For now, I'm going to head off. Get rid of my cold, hopefully. And I think it's a normal schedule next week, Cuzzy. I'll double check, but I think so. Right. So anyway, I'm out of here. Take it easy, guys. Love you all. Good night.